So guys, as promised, we're downstairs now, and as you can see, things get a lot more serious. Um, right next to me, of course, is a beautiful F12. Got a GT2 RS with a Vesak package just behind me. And in the far end, which arguably is possibly the most beautiful vehicle at the moment that's currently out there in production, is that little baby Aston Vantage. Saying that, I'm losing my words because you keep losing focus with the amount of toys that's around. You've got an SLS AMG, you've got an AMG GTR, you've got a few Aventadors, there's a Lamborghini Huracan, there's quite a few Rolls Royce, and in the far end you'll see there's a Lamborghini Urus as well. There's so much of choice, and this is going to make this debate slightly more difficult now. So I'll ask you again, out of all of this here, from what you can see, money no object, if you had one choice, just one choice, and you have to just take the one vehicle, again, which one would you have? It is a mind boggler.
It's the quintessential question,
absolutely,
isn't it?
Absolutely. And again, for us dreamers, us guys that are looking to get into this very, very soon, we have the motivation to do so. We love our cars, we're passionate about vehicles. And this is not about technicalities, because we can go on all day, especially Mo, about the technical side of things when it comes to brake horsepower and acceleration and quarter mile times and vehicle suspension settings and damping and all sorts. Today, I just want to keep it light. For all you guys and girls out there, tell me which one you have. I have my choice, and I know the last time we spoke, myself and Mo, about this particular subject in this particular showroom, he mentioned to me that he would walk away with that Aston Martin Vantage, with that Mercedes power. Is it still the same?
It changes all the time, but you know what, for now, since it's still there and it's probably it's the prettiest car here, I think. Looks are subjective, but I think it is in my opinion, it's the prettiest car here. So it's not the only reason. It's not just because it's a pretty face that I want to go home with it, but yeah, there's many reasons. We will get into that shortly.
So we've narrowed it down to two vehicles. Now this was difficult because it's like choosing between children almost, I mean, you can't really separate it in a sense because they're both equally good cars. But ultimately, from everything here, I went as a daily drive. When you consider the performance, the comfort, the servicing, when you consider the usability, the reliability, all sorts of things that you're supposed to use your head when purchasing a vehicle, even if it's a sports or a supercar. I ultimately went for a 2019 911 GTS. I mean, it's 450 brake horsepower to start off with. It's a lot. And the thing is about Porsche 911s, as we so well know them to be, is that it puts its power down. It has this ability to be able to get the best out of any unit that's put into the back of these vehicles. Okay, fine, some people say, yeah, it's not really the right thing anymore because it's no longer naturally aspirated and it's not really a purest type of 911 experience. I don't care, because when you're actually behind the wheel of one, and lucky enough again we have been, it just feels absolutely phenomenal. The acceleration is so smooth, it is so progressive. 3-liter, 6-cylinder twin turbo, like I say, 450 brake horsepower, and it's just a wonderful experience. Again, electric steering, unlike the older models, but saying that still, driver feel is magnificent. But, I don't know if I'll be able to stick to this choice because Mo's gone for the Vantage behind him. And that has its own amount of attributes, and unlike before, that particular Vantage of this current era of Aston Martin with those AMG power units that's supporting the entire build, they're a run for the 911's money.
Oh, wow. But just look at it. Guys, just look at it. Is this not a beautiful car? Aston Martin do really make beautiful cars. It's a good daily again. So we're choosing based on probably more usability.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's why we chose these two specific cars, even though there's some Lamborghini Aventadors behind me and there's some 488 Ferraris in the mix, but for everyday usability, looks, reliability, maintenance of these cars, yeah, this is probably what I go for. And it's now fitted with the Mercedes 4-liter V8 bi-turbo V8, which sits as a hot V. It sits between the cylinder banks, and it's a tried and tested wonderful engine. I think it's got the ZF 8-speed transmission, so Aston Martin have fixed up the transmission issues that they used to have before, or customers used to complain about transmissions being a bit laggy and clunky and slow. Not anymore, not in this model at least.
It's also got 50 more brake horsepower than the Porsche.
Yep.
I think we both agree it looks better. It's built better than what it used to be.
Yeah, it's got a comfortable interior also. It's got a beautiful interior. Actually, I think it's got a better interior than the Porsche. Porsche is very classic Porsche, very utilitarian.
Yeah.
Aston Martin's a bit more funky, a bit more luxurious. So yeah, for me, this will be my daily.
In the perfect world, am I close enough to you to be able to swap between these two cars on weekends?
Yeah, we can probably
Yeah?
swap about 2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, just to end it off, to bring your attention to one more burning question. This is a burning question for me, not so much for anybody else maybe, but there's a Lamborghini Urus behind me, in yellow. Of course, it's going to be yellow. Now, the question I'm asking is it a real Lamborghini or not? Is there too much of Audi or VW, or too much of maybe Cayenne potentially? Or is it actually the better for it? Let's head on over and have a look at it and see what we think.
Yep. I think this is another interesting conversation. You know, is it an Audi? Is it a, you know, does it share the same? You know, we know it shares the same platform with Q7 and Cayenne, probably even a VW Touareg. But I mean, just look at this thing. You know, Lamborghini just have to paint their cars yellow, isn't it? And that's about it.
How much more Lamborghini do you want it to be, though? As an SUV, I mean,
it's fantastic. It's awesome.
And the lattice work and the carbon fiber and the size of those wheels. That must be the biggest wheel fitted to any SUV in its class, right? It has to be.
Yeah, I think those are 22s or 23s, probably like 23s.
They're 23s.
Yeah, those are huge.
You know, 23s. And, you know, a lot of people say that, yeah, it's been basically spoiled a little by the fact that it has German influence into the sort of design or the way the vehicle behaves. But let me put it to you this way. Think about Lamborghinis of old, yes? Think about what really made a real Lamborghini. And we're talking about things that are dating back to the Mira and then the Countach, and then of course you have the Diablo, the Murcielago, now you've got the Aventadors and Huracans, which are now, by the way, Audis as well, in a sense, or DNA's in there. This happens to be so ferociously quick. It still sounds amazing. It still looks bonkers enough to be a Lamborghini. And on the inside, it's so confused in a certain sense, but at the same time so ergonomic. And you still get that little switch thing that looks like a fighter jet. You know, the
the start-stop switch. Yep.
That's in a fighter jet, right?
Yep.
I don't know. I think so. But you know, saying that, it's still very much at the heart of what a Lamborghini should be.
Yeah, I agree. So. I agree. It's very much still Lamborghini.
And if there is a sort of reservation about the fact that it is maybe a little bit too Q7, Q8 Cayenne, whatever it is, why not? Those are brilliant cars, brilliant platforms. You know, they're comfortable. They're reliable. They're dependable. And at the same time, that's still something that will basically wreck almost anything half its size or half its weight. You know, that's what I think. What do you think? You might disagree.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. Is it a real Lamborghini? The purists probably will hate us for saying so. We think it is. Let us know what you think.
Shall we cut that in a second? I'll go grab the keys and have a look inside.
Yeah, let's have a look inside.
Okay, guys, interior of a Lamborghini Urus. It's, like I say, it's fighter jet. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot of dials to get used to, but there's the touch screens that, of course, okay, you can see the Audi DNA once again. But then you've got the driver's settings in terms of dynamics, of course, if you want to tone things down. And this is what I was talking about. I love this. I don't know about anybody else, but this for me is, You know, it's the silly things that actually make you happy, and that's what Lamborghini do so well. They do silly brilliantly. It makes you feel like a kid. It makes you feel like, you know, like a teenager or like a child, and that's what it's supposed to do. So it's still theatrical. I use that word a lot, but that's the best way to actually sort of emphasize what you're feeling when you get behind the wheel. But it's comfortable. These seats are fantastic, and it feels a lot smaller. It does feel a lot smaller. And you know, the thing is, unlike the Aventador or the Huracan, when you get in, you can actually see what's around you. You can see what's behind you. You can actually judge, you know, and you can take your friends with you as well, or your family, if you're a family man, so to say, that can afford a vehicle that's, well, £250,000, I would say. But all in all, it's just, look, I don't know what to say. Again, this is just my opinion. You can still see that the hexagon design, that's a follow-up from previous Lamborghinis or its sisters, obviously, that are sitting on a much lower platform or ride height, i.e. Aventador and so on. So it's all still quite uniform, and the sound, even though it's a 4-liter V8, which is not really custom to what Lamborghini should have, it still is an absolute firecracker. So hopefully we'll get to enjoy it soon. Okay guys, well, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and send us your likes and your comments. Let us know what you think about these bunch of crazies that we've had around us today. We want to know, once again, what would be your ultimate hypercar in this company that you would choose, and also what would be your daily driver. And lastly, if you do have something that you'd like us to review, if you'd like some technical information about any vehicle that we've covered or would like to cover, then please let us know. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you soon.